In this video, we are targeting spotted bass in the Africa Reserve. And if this video helps you catch your diamond, please remember to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Let's take a look at the traits. It is aggressive, so you're going to need to be ready. There will be no nibbling. And the last two, hard fighter and last stand, just tells you if you're on real light line, expect a big fight. Let's take a look at the bait and lure preferences. Now what jumps right out is the third one on the first line. We are going to use lake mix bait balls to chum and attract these fish. And then the first two are what I like to stick to, whether I'm float fishing with a redworm or casting with a popper. You can certainly use anything on the list, but no need. I stick right to the first two. For the gear, the first setup is a lure spinning rig or casting, and the maximum size of the spotted bass that has been caught so far is 5.2 kilograms or just over 11 pounds. You'll actually see me set the new community record towards the end of this video. So I'm using an 8-pound setup with fluorocarbon. You can certainly go lighter. 5 pounds would be a pretty tough challenge if you want maximum score. But the important thing here is you're going to want 4, 5, and 7 poppers available on your character. 4 being gold, 5 being silver, and 7 being bronze. The second setup, and actually my preferred setup, was a float fishing rig, same strength, and I stuck to the 4 or gold hook with redworm. For the bait feeding options, I set up both the hand with lake mix and the medium catapult with lake mix. You don't necessarily need the catapult. However, it is available for in-game money, kind of expensive, and really only I use it on the casting method, which is not my preferred of the two. For the location, here is the main base. Now the spotted diamond has been caught in this lake, but there's a big problem you see here in that it's full of tigerfish, and you really don't want to compete with those. Causes a lot of problems and really impacts the gear that you can use. So here is the place that you want to use. This is really, in my opinion, the only place worth fishing for spotted bass. And it's the fourth of these 4 ponds here. And you can see something that I have a boat parked in the middle. Now, if you've ever been here and you've run all the way around here and you've seen somebody like me do this, there is no launch for boats. And you can see here's a boat launch, and there isn't one around this pond. So how on earth did I get this here? Well, there is a DLC available that you can purchase that has this lightweight boat that allows you to push it on land. And I have a completely separate video for that, and I'll link to it at the end of this, or just look on my channel and you'll see that, and it shows you how to get the Jon Boat and how to get it over in this pond. Now, if you don't have that and don't want to get it, then I recommend you stick down here where this deep cutout is. You'll have a smaller area. I like the flexibility of being able to go all the way around my boat, but you can still catch them just fine over here. It just makes it easier with this Jon Boat. Here is the downloadable content and the Ultra Cruiser Boat Pack, where you can get the Jon Boat if you like. Again, watch my other video that goes into it in much greater depth that will be linked at the end of this video. I recommend that you start in a night server. And I know that doesn't make a ton of sense because spotted bass is not a night owl. However, that is when I've seen the best activity for golds and diamonds. So, as you can see, starts at midnight. And I like to go until about 0500, 0600 when the bites slow down. If you have trouble getting a night server, I recommend you turn off multiplayer as you see here. Now, in-game time, 1 hour is 6 minutes real time. So you have about 30 minutes to fish before I suggest you go back to a new night server. Now, I like to face this way. No particular reason, but I use that light as a guide when I am doing my lure fishing. So as you saw, I just threw out a bait ball short. I'm going to throw out a slingshot, a couple of more. This uses a lot of bait. So if you don't want to spend the money, that's fine. You can use one. And I just like to make that channel to cast over, draw in fish from a wider range, and then give me some close in case I don't get a hit. I am using the 5 popper here, the silver hook size. And as you saw, very quick bite. And the goal here, just keep weeding out the smaller ones and look for the bigger ones. Again, just long casting. 3x speed is fine. Going right over those bait balls. If you see one chasing, slow down the speed. Usually they can handle the 3x just fine, but sometimes they get a little late start and don't catch up to it. So there's a dry cast. If I get too many dry casts, I'd switch down to a 7 hook or the bronze hook size. But you can see there's plenty of activity around those bait balls. You can see the jumping there. And there's another silver. And then I also suggested you have the 4 popper ready so you can check for golds. If you're getting consistent bites, you can throw that on, or you can toss out the redworm on a float in the middle of those. Or you can just stick with the silver or bronze. I've caught diamonds on all of those methods. The location and the time is really the most important. And then you would just replenish those bait balls, or one if you prefer, and keep casting over them. And that's really all there is to the casting method. My preferred method is to go with a float and a gold size 4 hook. And you can see my latest catch screen here, and highlighted is a 5.19 kilogram spotted bass diamond that did set the new community record. And if you stay tuned for the montage at the end, you'll see that. Now this is 2 night cycles, so midnight to 0500 roughly is when I quit both times. And you can see 18 fish, 3 diamonds, 15 golds. The technique for the gold hook on float strategy is very simple. Just half strength, toss out a lake mix bait ball, and then quick cast the float right on top of it. And with that gear again, the gold 4-hook, size 4-hook with a redworm. And then we're just going to sit and wait. You're not going to get a super high bite rate here. Sometimes I'll go a whole bait ball without a fish. But we got pretty lucky. There's one quick. Sometimes that happens too. That's definitely a gold. And then I'm just going to quick cast right back out to that bait ball. We'll see if we can get a second one on the same bait ball. One nice thing about this is I can do a lot of other things while I'm just fishing and not really paying all that much attention. You do have to pay enough attention to be able to hit the trigger quick because, again, no nibble, as you saw. And there's another one. That's going to be a big gold. I think it's just a tad too small for a diamond. But hurry up. Let's see if we can get 3 on a bait ball. That's pretty unusual, but I have done it. But you can see this gold strategy. There's enough fish if you take this Jon Boat into the center that you can just rotate around. 7.76. Not the max, but it's decent. See if we can get a third. Again, don't expect that to happen. That's pretty unusual. As I was saying, I do other things like scroll through the official Angler Discord with my phone and my other hand. So I use the controller in my non-dominant hand with my hand on the trigger. You could do the same thing with a keyboard if you use keyboard. And there we go. 3 on a bait ball is pretty good. All 3 golds. Love to get a diamond, but they're in there. Since that spot's pretty hot, I'm going to go ahead and toss another bait ball right there. But normally, I would just rotate 90 degrees and throw one here. And when that expires, throw one here. And when that expires, throw one here. But we'll go ahead and throw one back out here. And that's all there is to it. If you don't have the Jon Boat, then just cast, and I'd probably shoot a bait ball longer and try and get out into this little deeper zone and cast out above it. And there's another one on there. Another gold. I just made it back. That spot is quite hot. It would be nice if we could get a live diamond with no editing. Don't usually get 4 on the same spot in a line like that, but it can happen, as you just saw. So as I was saying, you can do it from shore. Certainly, but I'd try and get a little further away from shore. Probably use the slingshot and do a bit longer cast. But this works very well in the Jon Boat in the center. Come on, where's that diamond? It looks like this one's going to expire, so as I said, pick a direction. I'll go this way. Doesn't make any difference. Just work the area. Half throw that bait ball and quick cast on top of it. That's really all there is to it. Make sure you stay tuned for the montage with the diamonds. They are in here. If this video helps you catch your diamond or you enjoy it, please remember to leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Happy fishing. Have a good one.